baddies, welcome to another episode of Incoming FaceTime from Suhani. I haven't posted in a really long time, and in the time that I haven't posted, apparently Spotify changed their entire way where I can upload and record podcasts. So that's going to be really interesting to navigate, but it's okay. I'm back, better than ever. I haven't posted in a hot minute, so this is kind of just like a catch-up video, life update, as frick. Welcome back. But I'm actually homesick right now, and I should be resting, but I rested for 14 hours yesterday, so I was like, no. But in the time that I did get to rest and have some time to myself, I just thinked, and now I need to think out loud. So this is what I've been thinking out loud for the past couple days. But before I get started, I want to tell you guys a small story, an anecdote. So I have this one friend. She's a year older than me, and we've been friends for over 10 years. We're tight like that. And so when she entered middle school, I remember one of the very first things she ever told me was this one guy who absolutely pissed her off. She did not like this guy at all. Her eyes would twitch when his name was mentioned. She did not like him. So obviously I always made enemies to lovers jokes. Those never happened. But beyond the point, she didn't like this guy at all. And obviously I didn't know him other than what she would tell me. So when we got into high school, and now obviously all of us are together in this one building, I see him sometimes and I'm like, oh. And again, I've never really talked to him. I've had no opinion of him other than what I've been told from my friend, right? So I was just like, oops. So now what happened recently was I was in one of my classes and I was sitting with these two girls and this guy's name gets mentioned. And so naturally I'm like, oh, because I've never really heard anything other than this guy irks my friend, right? But before I could say anything, the two girls that I were with immediately pitched and they were like, oh my gosh, he's so sweet and he's so nice and he's gonna do great things in the future. Now, no doubt about it. Now I know the guy. Now I also believe he's gonna do great things. My friend who didn't like him, they're chill now. Not lovers, but it's okay. But what I learned was that he was valued differently in different places. So with my friend, obviously she didn't have the highest regard for him, but in a different place with these other people, they were like, no, he's so nice, he's so sweet. And so he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that the difference in places changed how his value. So even though he might have thought that, or just in general, you may think that you're not valued a lot, but you know what? Maybe you're just in the wrong place. If you've ever heard, there's this one car analogy where you take an old antique car to a pawn shop, and the pawn shop will probably offer you $1,100 for it, because they're like, bro, it's a rusty old car, we're not taking it. But if you take that same car and you take it to an antique car dealership type thing, they're gonna look at it and be like, wow, that's a steal, let me cop, I'll give you $100,000 for it because it's so rare and it's whoa, So you see how this car's value changes tenfold as soon as it goes to a different location. That doesn't mean that the car is has changed in any way. It's the same old car, but its location changed and thus its value differed. Maybe I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time because I know I'm valued. I know what I'm capable of. And if people don't see that, it's because I'm probably just in the wrong place. Period. But yeah, that's one of my 2 cents. On that note, when I want to make a podcast episode, sometimes I'll just be taking a shower or walking to the bus stop and I think of a podcast idea and I write it down in my notes app. But now when I'm looking back on it, I have no idea what it means. I have a page in my notes app and it just says vivid and memorable and another word. And I'm like, what does that even mean? What does that mean? If I find out, I'll let you guys know. I feel like this is just a yap session at this point. Anyways, the other day I had Olive Garden noodles and Coke for breakfast. It was probably a very unhealthy choice. Not probably, it was a pretty unhealthy choice, but it's pretty good. Well, another thing is that I've been on like inspirational Instagram recently, like the alpha male like block in TikTok. But like the alpha male like inspirational TikTok, but like with like a touch of feminine, you know? So it's like hype. I really like it there. But one of them was like, let people think whatever they want of you and then just prove them wrong. And I'm like, real. So I'm gonna let people think whatever they want of me, and I'm just gonna prove them wrong because I'm a bad bleep. But anyways, beyond that, if you ever watched my sophomore year first video podcast, I talk about how the one word that defined my sophomore year was rejection. But now, as I'm going through, I'm a third into the year of junior year. I think one word that would describe my junior year right now is probably gratitude. Before I even get into all of that, I feel like one thing that kids our age do, and I'm not even trying to point the finger because genuinely I feel like I used to do this too, but we always like to complain about our school system, that it's like the teachers don't do this, or why do they grade like this, why is it like that? But now that I look at it different, like I look at it so differently, because I think like we should just be grateful, honestly, because our school district is genuinely like one of the best ones we could have. Like it is a remarkable education. And I say this because a lot of the classes that I'm in, it has recently, especially junior year, it's given me such an introspective view on so many things that I've never really thought about before, you know? And it could just be like baseline things. It could be like whether it's regarding like the elections or politics or history, or like in Spanish, like we learn about like the crazy things happening in other Latino American countries. Like it makes me like realize that I should be so grateful that I get to live in America with getting the education that I do, being able to have a shelter over my head, being able to have warm food every night. Like it makes me grateful, really. And so that's one thing. Also, like Didi's like, she's in Spain right now. She's like teaching little kids in like these underdeserved communities, but like some of their classrooms just don't have walls, or they're like broken walls. So it's like, be grateful that you're in an air-conditioned building with access to electricity and walls. Be grateful for walls. But yeah, gratitude. Every time I feel bad, I'm just like, this could be so much worse. So that's how I get through it, TBH. Other than that, junior year has been like somewhat hectic, I guess. Like I know it's hectic because like it's junior year, but I've been able to get 8 hours of sleep every night. That's something I prioritize a lot, like getting my 8 hours of sleep. And then, but in order for that, I sacrifice having a social life and going out, which makes me kind of sad because I'm literally like a diva, bro. Ugh. But, and then my grades are like, okay, so, you know, they say in high school you can choose like 3 things, and it's like school, social life, and sleep, and so you can only choose 2 of them. So I've been choosing sleep and academics. That's what I've been choosing. But yeah. But also, I've decided that I'm going to become a superstar. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I am going to become a superstar. You can mark my words. You're going to see me as like the mayor or something and be like, Suhani Gupta. You're going to see my name out there and you can say that, oh my God, I knew her. That's going to be me, guys. That's going to be me. Because every time I tell my parents something new every day, it's like, I saw this one girl on Instagram being like, she's a software engineer for Pinterest, and her work like looks so cool. Like she was like rug making and like having cute like lunch, and I was like, I want to be a software engineer. And I tell my mom that, and she's like, what are you not gonna be? And I was like, broke. No, like actually, like I can't afford that, bro. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know that I will become a superstar. I don't know how, but it will happen. It will happen. Mark my words. Suhani Gupta, that name will be known. I feel like I should make a vision board, like low-key. Another thing is that if you've been seeing my Instagram, like the Instagram page for my podcast, I've been posting like poetry and like Hindi poetry. First of all, thank you so much for all the love that y'all gave on it. I've been working on a lot more, just some tweaks, and then I might post some more on those too, because I don't know, it's just so fun. And it's like, I love like being able to tap into like my dual identity in that way. But if you guys have any ideas, like totally let me know. But yeah, that's another thing. maybe, I'm thinking about what I just said in the beginning. Maybe I need to stop letting people's BS get to my head. Maybe that's the problem. I can't let them get to my head because that's what the haters want. That's what they want. They want to get to your head. They want you to not lock in. They don't want you to be a diva. But that's what I am. I am a diva. So I can't let them get to me. I have to lock in and be a bad bleep because that's what the haters don't want. And we can't let the haters get what they want. Because TBH, stop letting people treat you like a liability when you're an asset. You are nothing less than an asset. And another thing is that, look, I'm humble enough to know that I'm replaceable, but I'm also confident enough in my ability that your replacement will be a downgrade. It's just that you have to hold yourself to a high standard and to a high regard, because if you don't take yourself seriously, no one else is going to take you seriously. If you constantly downplay on yourself and your own abilities, that's an invitation for others to also do that. But yeah, today, this is probably one of the most fun and lighthearted podcasts I've ever made. So we'll probably be implementing again in the future. And I hope you had just as much fun as I did. But yeah, that concludes my podcast. So good night, stay safe, make good choices. Or don't, because YOLO. But I'll see you on the next one.